Hello, welcome to the Freedom Friday Hour.
Hello, everyone. This is Miss Kapow, and it's Freedom Friday, and it's September 16th, 2016.
Today's show is called Generation Meathead.
Generation Meathead. Very, very good.
You have a scripture, Miss Kapow?
Yes, I do. Jeremiah 51, 17 through 18 says, "Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish." And then we go to Jeremiah 10. "Hear ye the word of the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, Learn not the way of the heathen, and do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cuts a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might."
Sounds like that was all about idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
Was it not?
And meatheads.
And meatheads, because that's what it's all about.
Worship idols.
Yep. Anything other than the true Creator God, you're a meathead.
Mm-hmm.
If you worship anything but the Creator God.
That's right.
Well, that'll all shake out in the end. People will know at the end.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is from the Daily Mirror. It's dated September 14th, just last week. "Screaming teenage girls are exorcised for 5 hours." Is it exercise or exorcised?
Exorcised.
For 5 hours after being possessed by demons while summoning an evil Mexican ghost. Those are the worst, Miss Kapow, Mexican ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because instead of going boo, they go, "Charlie Holmes, Charlie Holmes."
Ole, ole.
In fact, the guy's name, the demon that they summon, is named Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
The game they play is called Charlie Charlie,
Right.
which is really stupid. We talked about this a few months ago when this first came out. So they're in Peru. What these kids do is they do a form of the Ouija board, and they take a piece of paper and they put pencils in the form of a cross.
Right.
Then they write yes, no in the 4 square boxes there. Mm-hmm. And then I guess they ask. They summon the demon Charlie.
Yeah, and then they ask it a question.
Yeah, and they go yes or no and blah, blah, blah. And then apparently some kids have paranormal activity afterwards and get haunted.
But see, it's very much like the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's the same thing. You're summoning forces that you cannot handle or you don't even know that exist. Mm-mm. And you're playing a game that you can't handle. Mm-hmm. Generation Meathead.
Yeah. Well, as kids, I remember the game Mary Mary, something like that, the Bloody Mary.
Yes, Bloody
and
Mary.
And they would summon her through the mirror.
Yes.
And ask it a question.
Yes. The Mexicans also had a little version of that that too. I forgot the name of the name, but it's a same version. You summon this demon through the mirror in the darkness.
Right.
It's silly, but anyway, in today's day of age, especially with these demons running rampant through the portals, man, some people, not all the people, but some people really get it pretty bad. These 5 girls apparently got it pretty bad. And they were playing this Charlie Charlie game, and then all 5 of them got possessed. And so they're screaming and kicking. And there's video of this if you want to hear it. It's pretty nasty.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's on our Facebook page.
Convulsing and all that nasty stuff.
Just acting, typical. They're in a church now, and the people of the church are trying to exorcise the demons. Okay. I mean, how are you going to get rid of something that somebody allowed in by playing this game? It's just, this isn't, exorcism and deliverance isn't a magic trick.
No, and plus there's repentance is involved in that.
Exactly.
And without repentance, they have legal right.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. So you can yell and scream for 5 hours you want. You can throw the Bible at them, and you can do your Jesus cross and holy water, whatever you want to do. It's not going to work. These kids are messed up. Unless they repent and God does something miraculous to their lives. They're gone. It's silly. It's Meathead silliness. So there they were, and they did it for 5 hours. And finally, when they couldn't get delivered or exercised, they were sent to a mental institution. Charlie, you can't play Charlie. Let's go on the other side of the world. Ms. Cabal, you ready to take a travel?
I is.
This is an amazing story, and it's bound to be controversial to many people who are going to view this different ways. Parents who have kids, kids who have parents. I'm just going to read the facts, and then you decide whether you think this is Meathead generation or you think this is something that should absolutely be going on in society.
Yeah. Valid or invalid?
Exactly. There's an 18-year-old woman. I guess when you're 18, you'd be considered a woman. I still consider that a child.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the experience or the mentality to be mature when you're 18. She's from Carinthia, wherever that might be. But she's suing her parents. For what? For child abuse?
Nope.
Why?
For posting photos of her on Facebook without her consent.
She's suing her parents for posting photos of her on Facebook without her consent.
That's crazy.
Okay, well, let's get into the facts, baby. There's some facts here. Like I said, this is bound to be controversial to some people. Some parents are going to go, well, that spoiled little brat, we're just trying to love on her and put baby photos up. And then other people are going to say, well, I can understand that, the social media presence is very important to these young people and you shouldn't be doing that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. She says here that she claims that since 2009, they have made her life a misery by constantly posting photos of her, including embarrassing and intimate images from her childhood.
Okay, the clue is from her childhood. So they're not posting pictures of her now.
But when she was little.
Like baby pictures. Like of her in the bathtub, her sitting on the pot or something like that.
Yeah.
Look at our little baby, right?
It says here her lawyer, Michael Ramey, says that to date, her parents have posted 500 images of her on the social media site without her consent. And he believes she has a good chance of winning in court. The shared images include baby pictures of her having her nappy changed and later potty training pictures.
I guess what she says is that they knew no shame and no limit and didn't care whether it was a picture of me sitting on the toilet or lying naked in my cot. So she's a little baby when these pictures are taken. Every stage was photographed and then made public. The photos were shared on Facebook with her parents' 700 friends. So they weren't shared to public, apparently, but to friends of the parents.
Sure.
So now are these parents, now what we don't know, are these parents just proud parents going, look at our little baby girl. She's so cute when she was little, and they're showing these pictures to their friends?
Yeah.
Or were they being
malicious
and posting these pictures up there, knowing that she's 18 and it would embarrass her?
Right.
I don't know.
It says, despite her request, they have refused to delete the photos, prompting her to sue them. I am tired of not being taken seriously by my parents, she said. Her father believes that since he took the photos, he has the right to publish the images. Her lawyer says that if it can be proven that the images have violated her rights to a personal life, then her parents may lose the case. This is the first case of its kind in Austria. But he says that based on similar cases abroad, the girl's parents may have to pay some financial compensation for her pain and suffering and will also be liable for her legal costs.
Apparently, Austrian privacy laws, when it comes to social media, are not as strict as some other countries. Did you know that in France, anyone convicted of publishing and distributing images of another person without their consent can face up to 1 year in prison?
Wow.
And a hefty fine. And it would apply to parents publishing images of their kids.
Wow.
French authorities have warned parents against sharing photos of their children on Facebook, saying that images could attract sexual predators. And they warned that children could face social and psychological problems later if intimate and embarrassing photos are shared with a wider public. Okay, so that's the only facts we know about this. So I think it's easy to take one side or the other.
Sure.
And say these poor parents, all they're trying to do is love on this girl and share, look at a cute little baby, whatever her name is. Chelsea was. No. And it's with their friends. So they're not like just putting up on some big website. They're friends. But then you can see the girl's point of view going,
I don't want that stuff.
Yeah, I don't want this stuff on there. What are you doing that? So you can see that. But where my gripe comes in is not whether who's right or wrong on this, is that you have the situation occurring because of Facebook, social media, in the first place.
Right.
My God, what have we become? What have we become as humans?
I know it.
When you have an 18-year-old girl who's suing her parents because they're posting baby pictures of her on social media.
Right.
Now, way back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, baby pictures were put in a little baby album. And if you were unfortunate enough to go to somebody's house that wanted to show you little baby pictures of their kid who's now grown, look at little baby Nancy. Ms. Capel laughs because she's experienced this firsthand. Look at little baby Nancy. And then they open up and they show, or they play audio tapes of baby Nancy cooing in her crib.
Hours.
Look at, she said, Daddy, right? And it used to be like that. So really, the adult kid could say the same thing. Why are you showing baby pictures to your friends in your own house, in your own living room, without my consent?
Right.
There's really no difference. But as far as I know, that's never been a problem.
No.
But social media has created this technological monster. And it's because of Facebook.
And people think differently now. Kids think differently now.
That's a good point.
It's
created a whole different paradigm in the human's head.
Where it's normal now to sue your parents.
Yeah. And that's my point. Whether you're on the side of the parents or whether you're on the side of the kids or somewhere in between, the point is you have an 18-year-old child suing her parents because of Facebook photos that she didn't give consent to.
Right.
And I think that in itself is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And that deserves the name Generation Meathead. Because
Definitely.
you're just meatheads.
Yeah.
My God. Good Lord. Do you remember, was a couple of years ago, I guess, this dude, his name was Rudy Eugene. He's dead now because the cops killed him for no reason. They shot him for no reason. Rudy Eugene from Florida was one of the very first, or the first,
I believe,
face chewer.
At least the very first one we've encountered.
Yes, that hit major media.
Yeah.
He's the dude that was in Florida on a highway, and he was on top of a homeless man. Now, Rudy himself was naked.
Right.
He was a naked black man, and he was on top of this homeless man, and he had killed him, and he was literally eating his face. He was chewing the man's face off.
Yep.
So when the cops got there, he wouldn't respond to no. And so they went bam, 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 and they killed him for no reason whatsoever.
Except that he was chewing on a
bad
person.
Cops. No, well, you know what? They could have talked to him. They could have tried to reason to poor Rudy. Now he's dead with Charlie. Well, so everybody probably remembers that story. That was a huge story. It was one of the first face chewers out there. So what did we all say? Everybody said, this guy is either on PCP, he's
bath
either
salts,
hallucinating, bath salts,
LSD,
flocka, synthetic marijuana, anything that's whacking out his system. It's not, the drugs that normal people used to take. It's not heroin. It's not even methamphetamine. Even if the guy was tweaking for 2 or 3 days.
It's not alcohol.
Yeah, he's not boozed up. He's got to have, more than likely, it was bath salts. And I think that's even what the authorities said. And this was like a story that kind of started the zombie apocalypse. Because after this, more and more people started doing things like this, cannibalism and crazy naked stuff because of the synthetic marijuana. Well, guess what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
Rudy Eugene, the man who ate the face off a homeless man, was not, I repeat, not high on bath salts or any other exotic street drug at the time of the attack.
What?
I know. According to a report released by Miami-Dade medical examiner Dr. Bruce Haima. Yes, my friends. Yes. You know what this means? You know what they found in his system?
What?
Plain old marijuana.
Wow.
That's all they found in the toxicology report. No evidence of other street drugs. There was no booze.
Isn't that something?
I know. How could this be?
Exactly. How could this be?
There's no prescription drugs. There wasn't any adulterants found in street drugs. That includes cocaine, LSD, amphetamines, ecstasy, meth. There was no PCP. There was no heroin, oxycodone, Xanax, synthetic marijuana, spice, any of that. Haima's office also specifically ruled out bath salts. Specifically. It ruled it out. And this type of drug, bath salts, as you know, has been known to cause bizarre behavior and overheating of people who use them.
Wow.
And that's why they originally said this guy was on bath salts, because he exhibited that
those
behavior.
kind of behavior. But all they found was marijuana.
That's it. That's it.
Ah, that's crazy.
That, honestly, that right there is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because right here in Nevada, come election time in November, one of the things on the ballot is legalizing marijuana for recreational use. It's already legalized for medical use.
Right.
But it's going to be legalized for recreational use.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Now, am I saying everybody who smokes some herb eats people's face? No, obviously not. This is a real rare exception.
Right.
The thing is it happened.
Right.
I'm not saying the marijuana caused it, but it certainly didn't help it.
Right.
Normally, marijuana people, they're more mellow. They're not the ones breaking into your house.
No, they just want to eat.
Yeah, they just want to munch and just chill out. They're in a stupor.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I mean, of course, you can always say, well, he was demon-possessed and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, obviously, but come on.
Yeah.
To me, that's frightening.
It is very frightening.
I would rather read that he was on spice or flocka or something like that, bath salts, because then you'd go, those bad bath salts.
Right.
You take that, they're crazy people. It's really
just marijuana.
Generation Meathead.
Yeah, and it's more accessible now.
Yeah. And it is not the same marijuana in the 70s and 80s. This is different stuff. It's hybrid. It's potent. Mm-hmm. The THC level is off the hook. I know. I just smoked a doob before doing this show, dude. I'm high as a kite. And I'm ready to eat my own face. I did that once. I ate my own face, and it was weird, man.
Is that why you have a flat head?
That's why I got a flat head. When you look to the side, I just look like a plate. You a lawyer? Do you know that motherless babies are possible in the Generation Meathead?
Yeah.
Motherless babies. How can you have a baby without a mother? Who would want to have a baby without a mother?
I don't know.
Babies and mothers go hand in hand.
Now it's scientists and babies.
Or gay guys.
Yep.
Because this is what this is all about. This is all about destroying the image of God. Hallelujah!
And it's not just gay men. It's lesbians, too.
Yeah. Which are gay men and women body.
Yeah. Well.
Motherless babies are possible as scientists create live offspring without need for a female egg. Yay! No more chicks, man! That's what we've been waiting for.
Disgusting.
Oh, you're just mad because we don't need you gals no more to make babies. You see this demonic ad coming?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a landmark experiment by the University of Bath. It rewrites 200 years of biology teaching, and it could pave the way for a baby to be born from the DNA of two men.
Oh, nasty.
Bruce and Jack will have little Bobby.
Oh, for the love of pizza. Oh, disgusting.
Generation Meathead, man. I'm telling you, we have arrived at Generation Meathead. We're here. How many stupid people? How many generations does it take before you're surrounded by totally stupid people?
Exactly.
If stupid people have 8.1 kids compared to bright, intelligent people who only have 1.6 or none, how many generations does it take before people with under the IQ of 100 overtake the world?
At least one.
We're here.
It was always thought that only a female egg could spark the changes in a sperm required to make a baby, because an egg forms from a special kind of cell division in which just half of the number of chromosomes are carried over. Sperm cells form in the same way, so that when a sperm and egg meet, they form a full genetic quota, with half our DNA coming from our mother and half from our father. But now, scientists have shown embryos could be created from cells which carry all their chromosomes, which means that, in theory, any cell in the human body could be fertilized by a sperm.
Yay! You know, they've already done this with 3 generations of mice.
Of course they have.
They've been creating, using the technique. The mice are fit and healthy. Mm-hmm. And now researchers are planning to test the theory using skin cells. And there's a picture of little mice created without a female egg.
Wow.
But guess what? You still need a woman to put the egg into.
Yeah, the womb. Hello.
So honestly, to say it's a motherless baby
is wrong.
I mean, you don't need the female egg, but you still need a female womb to. What does that do? Incubate it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not. We haven't got rid of chicks totally. You know what I mean? We haven't got rid of chicks totally. We've got to do some more work here. You gay guys, work on it. Work on making a synthetic womb. What's wrong with you people? So anyway, what does all this mean? I mean, really, what does all this mean? I mean, come on, where are you going with this?
Mm-mm.
You want gay guys and, like you said, lesbians to have children unnaturally.
They want to be God, is what they want.
Yeah, that's what it is. This is the
and they want to be able to control it, and what have you.
Yeah, and couple this with designer babies and making this and peeking and tweaking that, and leather seats instead of skin. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Control. People want to do the things their own way.
You know who else wants to control us?
Satan!
That guy and our commercial sponsor. So we'll be right back.
I don't know what all this fuss is about these pestilence. I think the scientists are doing a great job.
Clueless? In the dark?
I think the government's doing a good job.
Have no idea what is really going on? I have an app for that. Kapow Radio Show app for iPhone and iPad. Kapow Radio Show app for Android. Get the app. Get a clue.
Hey, Vinny, I love politicians. I think they've got my best interest in mind.
Get the app. Get a clue. FifthHookMedia.com.
We are back.
And we're back.
And we're here. Bank of America analysts, they're smart. They are not part of the Generation Meathead, are they?
I don't agree.
You rolling your eyes.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Bank of America analysts, they sound like they're smart people, but they're probably not. I think they're part of Generation Meathead. You know what they're claiming now? This is Bank of America. That there's a 50% chance that we all live in a Matrix reality simulation.
But isn't that what we always say?
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's like the movie, The Matrix. Boffin's made the astonishing claim in a research note citing comments from top scientists, philosophers, and astrophysicists The bank analysts, they claim this is big. 50% chance. That's like over half. They're saying there's like half the chance that none of this is real, that we're in a computer simulation and we're all plugged into a Matrix style of virtual reality. Just like that movie, The Matrix. Especially the first one. And they all reckon if it's true, then there's no way we'll ever find out about it. Oh, I think we'll find out about it. There'll be a day, there'll be a time we'll find out about it. When time ends.
Yep.
When the sun and the moon, the stars quit shining and there's no more time, we're going to find out about a lot of things. The Bank of America's Merrill Lynch made the astonishing claim in a research note. And I just think that's interesting that they would say this. SpaceX founder Elon Musk is one of those who is almost certain our world is run by artificial intelligence. Now he thinks it's developed by a future civilization. So I don't know if that means that they came from the future and came back, or they're just like future in their futureness. His mind-bending theory is backed up by the bank's analysis, who said in a report our world could actually be a simulation created by a future civilization. It said many scientists, philosophers, and business leaders believe there is a 20 to 50% probability that humans are already living in a computer-simulated virtual world. In April 2016, researchers gathered at the American Museum of Natural History to debate this notion. Because in the generation Meathead, you have nothing else to do. Right? The argument is that we are already approaching, check this out, photorealistic 3D simulations that millions of people can simultaneously participate in. And really, on this article, and it's on our Facebook page, Fifth Hook Media, on our Facebook page, there is a video of an interview with Elon Musk, and he's talking about this stuff. And it is pretty interesting how he's tying it into the technology that we have today.
Right.
And he's saying, hey, just 40 years ago, we had Pong. You had two little square boxes. But he goes, look at what you have today. Now, I'm not a gamer. I'm not into all that stuff. But apparently this stuff is very realistic. And you can play with people from all around the world, and like you're in this simulation.
Right.
He's basing a lot of that on that we don't. In 40 years, where did we get all this technology? Why did it all of a sudden just change?
Right.
I mean, we really entered from the industrial age into the digital age.
Right.
Just like that. Part of the theory includes reasoning that if we are living in a futuristic virtual reality, then we'll never know about it. The research note added, it is conceivable that with advancements in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and computing power, members of future civilizations could have decided to run a simulation of their ancestors. Blah, 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 blah. Gets crazy. You know, Elon Musk looks bad. Have you seen him? I mean, look at his face.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like he's sick? No, he really does. He's all blotchy and red. I mean, does he look like a multi-billionaire?
It's all the stuff he takes to
He
stay
looks.
alive.
I mean, no, he looks really, really. I'm not being mean. I mean, he looks really, really weird, weirdly creepy, and very
maybe
imperfect.
that's why he's so obsessed about staying alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe there's something wrong with him.
I wouldn't doubt it because he does not look.
You know what I mean?
Well. Well, it's just weird, the theory. Okay, so speaking earlier this year, and this is the video I was talking about, Musk told an audience at Code Conference in 2016, where else? In California, California.
California.
Here's what he said. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality. Just indistinguishable. And when pressed on the topic, he continued to muse on why we should be grateful for being jacked into the Matrix. Here's what he says. If civilization stops advancing, then that may be due to some calamitous event that stops civilization. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The wide-ranging interview also included Musk's belief that we are already merging with technology because of our dependence on modern electronic gadgets.
Yep.
I don't totally disagree with him on that. I really don't. And who am I anyway to disagree with Elon Musk, Tesla guy? But I mean, he's right. I mean, look at the story we read about the Facebook. The girl suing the parents on the Facebook. Look how the lives have merged because of this technology.
Yeah.
However, he suggested we go further and become full cyborgs with the invention of something he termed neural lace. So you could go neural lace unless you ate your own face, and that rhymes. And that would be a good rap. It really would. It'd be a good rap about a guy who ate his own face. Now he can't go neural lace. So what does he do in the Matrix? What does he do? He raps. It would mean giving the brain a new electronic layer that would work with artificial intelligence to instantly access online information. Oh boy, that's what I want to do. Can you just walking around and go, I need to access online information instantly? They get all the ads, all the videos that I hate.
I can just imagine you'd be scudding.
I would eat my face.
Mm-hmm.
It would
Get
also
out of this place.
Oh yeah, see?
There you go.
That's another rap, see? We should be rapping. It would also stop us from becoming overrun by our advancing AI overlords. So this is a good way to fight robots. Under any rate of advancement, AI will be left behind by a lot, he said. The benign situation with ultra-intelligent AI is that we would be so far below in intelligence, we'd be like a pet or a house cat. I don't love the idea of being a house cat.
Jeez.
So this is the Tesla guy, man. This is the way he's talking. Kind of crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the same guy that his space... Oh, you know that SpaceX thing that he launched?
Yes.
Just a few weeks ago.
Lost a lot of money.
Yes. And we posted this on Facebook. It blew up for getting to space. Well, have you seen the videos on YouTube, so it has to be true, of the little UFO that appears right in the screen before it blows up? And then they interview Musk, and they see it too.
Yep.
And he says, I don't know what caused it. I don't know why it failed, but it did. But if this video is true, which I don't know, but there's a little UFO, a little thing, darts across the screen.
And it looks like it may have blown that thing up.
Yeah. So maybe
Wouldn't that be something?
Well, you know what's weird is because there's a UFO in the Matrix. So if you're going to make a simul Matrix, why in the heck did you make a UFO? Why didn't you just make lollipop unicorns? God!
I know. Be more creative, right? Make it more fun.
Be more fun. I've only got one more story to do. It's a short Freedom Friday because it's, I don't know. It's just a short Freedom Friday.
Sounds good.
A mystery heart. Probably belonging to Hillary Clinton. There you go. You had to get political.
Yeah, you had to mention her name.
You had to. Yes, and she does have a body double. Don't argue with me. There's two of her, maybe three, maybe four.
Well, yeah, I've always said that these people were cloned.
Yeah, and then there's, what was his name? Forget that other, JBL.
Oh, Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson. Literally had a body clone. It was his second cousin who would fill in for him sometimes. But the second cousin then got a role in a movie.
Got famous.
Yeah, because he got, it was with Dean Martin, Sharon Tate, who's died brutally also. But, and he played a president in the movie, and it was so astonishing because he looked just like Lyndon B. And it wasn't too long after this movie, then he went on Johnny Carson and all this stuff. His obituary has all this stuff in it. But what's interesting is that movie itself had been edited down where you only see the profile of the guy. And also, apparently when you go to the guest list of Johnny Carson, everything, that guy's never on there. He was removed.
See?
Yeah. But after, either it was a couple of weeks or a couple of months later, it was soon after he came out and he was on Carson and in this movie, and he came out and he says, yes, I look like my cousin, blah, 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 and I've worked for the president, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't too long after that. That intruder apparently came into his home and killed him, shot him dead.
He was X'd.
He was suicided. But anyway, that's...
Anyways,
that really
this
happened.
mystery heart was found in a Ziploc bag in a field.
Yes. So does it belong to that guy? Does it belong to JBL's body double or Hillary's body double or to Hillary? Or is it unrelated? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe Elon Musk thinks it's some futuristic civilization's heart.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was somebody's heart on Facebook that was broken.
Or maybe the face eater.
Yes, and he was going to eat the heart, but then
It fell out.
marijuana didn't let him do it. I don't know. Speculation. But this is from Cleveland. Cleveland. There's a heart in a Ziploc baggie. There's a photo of it right there.
Ugh. Gross.
Norwalk, Ohio. A bizarre case out of Huron County has detectives looking for the person who belonged to a heart discovered in a field.
Well, it's probably the person with the big hole in his chest.
Probably the guy who's dead. The guy on the bus bench with no face and no heart. The Norwalk Police Department has right now is a heart in a Ziploc bag. That's what it says.
Yep.
They're hoping to determine if it's human and where it came from.
It shouldn't be very difficult to do.
No.
Excuse me.
It's pretty unusual. We have no idea where it came from, said Sergeant Jim Fulton with the Norwalk Police Department. In late August, there was an EMS crew. They were idling at the Friendship store on Millen Avenue. They were idling. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they were flirting with some chicks there, what they were doing, but they were hanging out, not doing their job. And they came across this heart. Fulton said the heart was in good condition and had only just started to decompose. So it's a fresh heart. He says there's no indication it was part of a violent crime. No. People lose their hearts all the time,
And
Sarge.
put it in a plastic bag.
Yeah. They do it all the time. There's no indication it was a violent crime. None. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep moving along. He says this guy's a generation muttonhead.
Yeah.
This sergeant here. He goes, I talked to the Lucas County coroner, and she seemed to think that it hadn't been in that field very long. It could have possibly been frozen prior to that. What a dork. Initially, the paramedic. Here's another dork. The paramedic.
Stupid.
Initially, the paramedic who discovered it. Guess what he did?
He put it in a dumpster.
He threw it away. He's walking around. He's a paramedic. Okay, I can understand if it's just a regular fire guy.
Yeah.
He didn't know. The paramedic, I think, has some kind of medical training because they like work on people who have medical emergencies. Probably know what a heart looks like. He sees it and he goes, you know what I'm going to do with this? This looks like it's paperwork. I'm going to put it in a dumpster. We'll put a heart in a dumpster. But later he was instructed to retrieve it for investigation.
Oh,
Man, these are rocket science. These guys are generation muttonheads, meatheads. So Sergeant Fulton says they don't even know if a crime had been committed here.
oh, for the love of pizza.
He said,
good
Sergeant
night.
Fulton, I'm Sergeant Fulton. You listen to me, y'all. Here's what he said. We don't have a body that we're missing a heart from. I don't make it up. That's what he said. So we don't, Mr. Bry, you listen to me in the name of the law, the Norwalk Police Department, Sergeant Fulton here. I'll shoot you with taser. I'll shoot you with the taser if you're unarmed. We don't have a body that we're missing a heart from. So I guess it's an unusual occurrence. You think? Is what you would say? I swear, this is a direct quote. He says, so I guess it's an unusual occurrence is what you would say.
That's what I wrote on my report. See? It's what's listed on our report.
That's what he says. We hope to be able to classify it as something else and close this out.
Maybe an alien dropped it from his spaceship.
What are you going to classify it as something else and close this out? Found property? Yeah. We're taking a found property report here. If anybody's missing a human heart, please contact Sergeant Fulton at 111-999-666.
Just partially decaying.
Yeah. The Huron County coroner said Tuesday that the heart appears to be human, but that pathologists in Toledo are running tests to confirm. They are running tests to confirm.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
They're also testing to see if there are any preservatives in the Ziploc bag. A veterinarian.
Meatloaf.
Yeah, it's meatloaf. Did they taste it? Did they lick it?
They smelled it.
Yes.
You know they did.
No, the paramedic did. That's
Yeah.
why he threw it in the dumpster. He's like, "What? This looks like a donut." A veterinarian is trying to rule out if the heart came from an animal like a pig, which has a heart similar to a human. I don't know. I still think you're going to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
It could have come from a funeral home. No, this is Sergeant Fulton again. I got to do Sergeant Fulton. Okay. I'm Sergeant Fulton. Mr. Cabal, listen to me. I'll tell you. He says, it could have come from a funeral home, an autopsy. There's endless possibilities. This guy is stupid, man. Who made him the PIO? Who made him the media
And he's the
spokesman?
sharpest pencil in the box.
He's
Okay?
a sergeant. He was actually promoted. He's got stripes.
Which is
He's
pretty
supervising
scary.
other people. He's the guy that rolls on the scene, and the other cops go, "Hey, Sarge, what do we do with this heart?" "I'll put it in the bag." Oh, man.
They're hoping to get some information from the public by getting the story out that will help determine where this mystery heart came from.
Oh, my Lord. So I guess we're not really helping out a whole lot with, by making fun of Sergeant Fulton.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I'm not being helpful. Oh my
Lord.
goodness. I didn't make this up. That was a true story. That was kind of nice. That was kind of a nice way to end. Okay, Ms. Gaval. Can you even say goodbye? You correct.
Ciao, babies.